Yo, what's happening everybody, King GBL here, and welcome back to a brand new Go Bat League video. Today we're going to be showcasing my first gameplay with Cresselia in the Open Great League. This is quite a good Pokemon and something that I've been excited to use for quite some time. I think this Pokemon is an interesting core breaker because even against its hardest counters, things like Sableye and Trevenant, you have Moonblast coverage, and of course Umbreon and any of the dark types, you've got Moonblast coverage. And I think grass type coverage is quite huge in the Great League. You have a look in PvPoke and see what Pokemon are not grass types but have grass coverage. They're very few and far between, and I think just in this meta it's really strong. If you think about all of the Community Day Pokemon we've had this season, we've had Haxorus, Poliwrath and Greninja, 3 water types, and you can actually hit Greninja with the Moonblast as well, and of course Poliwrath with the Moonblast. If you think about the new Pokemon that's getting added, Carbink, everybody's going to be running that, especially towards the end of the season. So that's going to be getting hit by the grass moves, and Cresselia basically walls Carbink. This Pokemon can do, like I said, well against its counters, does well against Medicham. You can land Moonblasts on the Noctowl. It's a negative match, of course. The only really super negative matches are things like straight up, and I mean just straight steel types, or steel ice, you know, in the case of Sandslash, right, Shadow Claw. Those two Pokemon are definitely very rough for it, but as with most Pokemon, there are hard counters for it, and this one actually has probably a lot less than usual. The only way you can actually get this Pokemon is through trading. In the Great League, you have to, like, as you can see, mine's 4 attack, so like it's pretty simple to be fair to get it. I've done 3 Cresselia trades and 2 of them were Great League eligible. So if you have one person that you can trade with to get 1 or 2 Cresselia, as long as the CP's around 1,600, if it's weather boosted of course, it's not going to work. And you will have to invest a Legacy TM for Grass Knot, but I definitely think it is well worth it and it's quite a fun Pokemon here. So we're going to showcase a team that I've created with this. I'm not sure if anybody else has created this team. You guys can let me know in the comments down below. I don't know if it's a running joke at this point, but people like to comment, oh, this is Junkus' team. So did Junkus showcase this team already? Probably at this point, because to be fair, it is quite a strong team, so I wouldn't be surprised if he did showcase that, but the opponent seems to have seen the writing on the wall here and top lefted. You're seeing so many Lanturns and Medis in the same team, and like this team's just wrecking them. By the way guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button. Let me know if you enjoyed the Community Day yesterday, and if you got a lot of dust, and if you're enjoying Greninja. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. Quite a lot of you checked out my video a few days ago, showcasing big changes coming to the Great League. They're actually going to be doing a huge move update this season, which I'm super excited for in a couple of weeks. And of course we're getting all of the Paldean Pokemon, so if you want to see some information about that, feel free to check out the last video. So hopping on into the battles here, we've got Stunfisk. They're getting a little bit too greedy here, but they do a nice CMP. I was quite tempted to shield it at this point, but I thought I want to get this the farm down with Sableye. In general, like if you can get a farm down with Sableye, it goes so nicely. I'm going to look to probably CMP them here on the rock slide, because I don't really want to take any damage, and I want to try to land return. I think is this Chestnut this game? I think I want to land a return on the Chestnut, which will be perfect. Yeah, back in comes Chestnut, and we're actually going to catch the Frenzy, which I think is quite a nice play here. And we're going to see what the opponent has in the back. This is quite a core breaker for them because they're coming in with Lantern, and this is what I'm saying guys, like they're just double weak to this thing. Like Fighter in the front, Lantern in the back, like that's not super uncommon. In fact, it's probably the most common team in the Great League. Instead of Chestnut, it's usually Medicham. This thing is a big core breaker and it's going to win me this match, I believe. I'm a bit of a pussy here, shield up the Surf. I can easily live a Thunderbolt. I'm going to shield up this as well because I'm going to respect the damage, because I know that this, like I said, is my win condition. And if I can just get shields off the opponent and look to take it out with Grass Knot, I'll be in a position where I can just return the Oller thing, return it to its Pokeball. So we're going to go ahead and fire off the Grass Knot. Now, this doesn't have the most attack. We'll see how much damage this does. It does roughly 50%. The opponent makes a really nice catch. They catch this move. But here's the thing. We actually caught their last move. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. So just before they got to the superpower, I decided to throw off the move. And that leaves me in a position where the third foul play comes in 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, we were just about getting to it. So the opponent's basically forced to throw. Thunderbolt coming through. I'll take us out. And at this stage, you're going to see that this thing is super bulky. We're on like, what, 30% health? This is a Thunderbolt coming through. We live it with about 5% health roughly. So super bulky, and like I said, the grass coverage and the psychic type and of course the Moonblast coverage, it's just really strong. Especially because Trevenant's been scared away. And if you do happen to see a Trevenant, you can live a Shadow Ball and get off a Moonblast. So like, even against, like I said, its worst counters, except for steel types, with the exception of Galarian Stunfisk, which is neutral to grass, you can do well against pretty much everything. Now Lantern here, I think I tried to catch a move, and we're going to look to realign this later on. The opponent's staying in here, which is making me quite tempted to shield, but I go for the overfarm, and speaking of Trevenant, here he comes. A little bit awkward for my team, but of course, like Sableye takes care of it. We can look to get off 2 moves on this thing, if they allow us to. I decide you stayed in here for way too long with Lantern, so I'm going to punish that and try to get another debuff on this thing with Zap Cannon, and that's going to put me in a position to hopefully get a ton of farm with Sableye, and like they're going to have to throw another move here, right? They can't farm me down. So I think what I even do here is, because they were pretending to be weak to this thing, I'm going to shield this up once, take advantage of the misaligned switch timers, and look to farm this bad boy the whole way down. The opponent just got absolutely wrecked, and back in comes Lantern. Now, I'm going to YOLO the return because I don't think they're going to shield us here at this stage. Arguably, 2 Foul Plays is better. I think it probably is, but Thunderbolt coming through, they're going to be quite low. I'm just going to throw this instantly. I think two Foul Plays was probably a little bit better there. You guys can let me know. I'm actually only just using this Pokemon for the first time recently, and in comes their own Sableye with a shield. This is a little bit awkward, so what my plan is here, come in with Cresselia, farm up a little bit, try to swap out. Okay, so you're going to see how much Foul Play does. I knew that I could eat this Foul Play, which was fine. Foul Play coming through. I insta-swap, which I don't think I should have done. I think I should have held on for a little bit longer and got a little bit closer to the move. Because as you're about to see, they're going to farm us the whole way down. It probably wasn't going to make a difference anyway. And back in comes this thing. Good games. Unfortunately, we cannot survive another Foul Play. But at least that showcases, like, we lived that first Foul Play so well. So if it's a scenario where you've got shields, like, they have to shield the Moonblast, but you don't have to shield the Foul Play. So this is our answer to Galarian Stunfisk. I'm going to look to CMP on 8, which is the Earthquake. Earthquakes for you are going to be 8 and 7, fun fact for you. And yeah, at this point we can just respect this damage. Hopefully they don't bait here, they do bait. So they're going to be another 3 away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or sorry, they're 5 away, because it's 5 and they were 3 over, right? So it's another 5. We're going to go for this Foul Play. It doesn't quite take them out. Doesn't quite take them out. And I know I can live an Earthquake. Like, I shielded the first Earthquake because I thought that would just YOLO it. But, you know, I guess I was wrong in that situation, and in comes this thing. I'm going to settle for a Foul Play. Didn't think it was going to reach the return, and let's have a look. Yeah, I was correct. So we're going to come in with Reggie, which is a hard wall to this thing, and then we're going to come in with this thing as well. Now, you're about to see some Thunderbolts going through, and at this point I'm like, I'm not a pussy anymore. Oh, no, I am. Okay, never mind. I shield up the first one, because I don't think they're going to beat the Cresselia, right? It's all calculated. It's all calculated. I wasn't scared. I knew I could live it. And I CMP. I CMP'd so many Pokemon, which was pretty bad in this video, but, you know, you can't play perfectly all the time. As you can see, that does about 25%, super low damage, and this will do well over 50%. So we're in a very dominating position here, I feel like. These Psycho Cuts are really adding up. Trying my best not to CMP the opponent. I almost did CMP them once again. I think the opponent's going for an Overfarm, and as you're seeing here, they come actually back in with a Azumarill. They're going to fire off, I think, a Hydro Pump here even. Even if they do Hydro Pump, this is fine. No, it's player off. It's just game over. They've seen how little that done. And for some reason, they haven't left the match yet. They can easily survive one of these. I was going to put it in a range where I can lock on down the little bunny rabbit. I don't think that was a Super XL one, but to be fair, I got some Shadow Claw damage through, so maybe it was just a Super XL, but I already put the chip into it. I think in the set, I can't remember, I think it was going negative beforehand, and he sort of rescued the set to a 3-2 with this team. So very positive lead with Deoxys, and in comes Granbull, in comes Registeel, and this is not as straightforward as you would think it is, because they can go for the debuff, right? I'm trying my best to throw in good timing, to make sure they don't get any free Snarls. It takes them 8 to get to their move, and then 7 for the second crunch. 99% of the time they're going to crunch you, but on the off chance that they don't, you want to just respect that. And if you let the crunch go, they can farm you down. So like, that's not really ideal. I farm up over 100 energy here. I'm just absolutely obsessed with timing here. And we get another attack drop. At this point, I'm double shielding, and I'm going to take out the Granbull. I'm not willing to give up alignment here when we've got a Deoxys. I think the opponent here tries to swap out. We bank the Zap Cannon, and we're going to come into this. Very nice patience. I was expecting the swap out. And at this point, the opponent's going to fire a Thunderbolt. I think I live this. Yeah, I do. Okay, so we're going to farm up to 100 energy and probably look to CMP, I think, on the Psycho Boost. Oh no, it actually just takes them out. So in comes Umbreon. I insta-throw. I'm an insta-throwing Andy here. I should have went for the Last Resort, which gets them down to about 50%. Can we actually get the Last Resort? Or sorry, it's the return. I keep calling it Last Resort. Sorry if I've called it Last Resort a few times in this video. We get off the return. As you can see, they're down into low health range. And I swap out in between their Snarl and go for the Zap Cannon. This is a huge mistake. They've got no shields left. This is a huge mistake. Foul Play coming through. And the opponent's going to come in and farm us down with Granbull. Now, it's just all up to Cresselia at this point. Come on, Cresselia. Take out this stupid fucking dog. This fucking dog is going to start crunching my Cresselia. And I sort of need to go for an Overfarm to get off a move on the Umbreon as well. Oh my goodness, bro. Why did I not just Focus Blast the Umbreon? Because the Umbreon overfarmed like crazy there. They get off the move just before us as well. Man, like, I threw this game by not Focus Blasting. But I mean, the correct thought was there at least, but that was just terrible. For the wrong move. So we can count that as a win pretty much, except for the fact that I can't for the correct move. Sableye versus Noctowl, not the greatest lead. We're going to actually stay in here and look to go for a catch possibly. So like the opponent insta-froze, so I'm like, okay, maybe I could let this go. I do shield it, okay. And since they're insta-throwing, what I decide to do here is for a return, just before they get to the next move. And I'm expecting them to insta-throw once again. The opponent lets it go, and we're going to not catch. I was trying to catch there. I think I'm respecting this move. Now that I've landed the return, I can take them out with a foul play. So I'm really just trying to get something out of this matchup, like get a shield and try to get a catch. Even though I'm down a shield, I'm happy enough with this, and we do finally get the catch on Registeel. So we've realigned, we've got some damage done on this thing, and I'm expecting to see a Medicham, but it is a Chestnut. At this point, I'm expecting a shield, but we're going to go for the Focus Blast anyway. It is often nice going for the bait. The opponent lets it go, which I was quite surprised to see. And, you know, with Chestnut being super low now, with Noctowl being super low, the opponent goes for Superpower as well. They're going for the back-to-back. With these two Pokemon being super low, I think we're in a position to sweep now, because we can come in with Sableye and look to farm it the whole way down, and then basically look to get off a foul play on Noctowl again. As you can see, we're quite close to the foul play. The opponent just about doesn't get to a move. I'm just watching the top right, and we're going to look to throw the foul play. Is the opponent double weak to Sableye? We're about to find out. But if they're weak to Sableye, they're going to be weak to my Cresselia. Can I get to this move? We just about do. They were just getting to the move there, and this is going to take them out. Now I'm looking to insta-swap because I'm thinking it's Medicham, but it's actually Surfetched. Surfetched has got absolutely no chance here. And I think I'm just going to commit to the Moonblast. I can probably just Grass Knot it. Night Slash #1 coming through. This Moonblast is going to look to absolutely one-shot them. And those teams that you guys see with Noctowl double Fighter, this team can take care of them pretty well. You can pretty much swap into Reggie, draw out the Fighter, and come back in with Sableye, get a farm down, fire off some moves on Noctowl. As you can see, like Sable versus Noctowl is not the end of the world for you. They're going to go for a lunge here. I think I do respect this move. I do eventually want to swap out here. I want to try and get as many shields off them as possible here. Let's see. So, Foul Play coming through, the opponent respects it. They fire the move instantly once again. I'm not sure what to do against this Pokemon here by the looks of things, because Lunge is super effective against my other thing. I'm just banking on the fact that my third Foul Play is 5. I think that's why I'm doing this. Oh, okay. So we do eventually outpace it, and in comes Whimsicott. We're going to build the whole way up to the return and catch on the Registeel. Beautiful play right here. This is going to do absolutely no damage. Grass Knot coming through. And the opponent is staying in. Ladies and gents, the opponent is weak to Registeel in the back. What could they possibly have? Some sort of a Charmer, I was assuming at this point. I was assuming it was double Fairy. So I'm going to go for this move. Both of these moves are resisted, and you have the chance for a debuff here. We don't get the debuff, but we can eat another like 2 Moonblasts here probably. Definitely we can eat one more. The opponent's going for Grass Knot. I think 1 Moonblast at this range will take us out. Can we get to this move in time? We just about do. And this is going to get them into a range where we can farm it down with Sableye. Yep, we actually come into Cresselia here, just assuming they're weak in the back, and in comes Dugong. So I guess they were pretty weak, but once again folks, you're seeing like the grass coverage is so huge here. Boom, that gets them very close to 50%. The opponent can go for a debuff, but at this stage it's just curtains for the opponent. They can get off as many debuffs as they want to here. We are taking this thing out. We're going to throw in good timing after 4. I probably could go for, it's probably more raw damage to go for Moonblast, but we're going to go for that anyway. I think it's a little bit more consistent. We see MP on the move, perfectly fine by me. The opponent was going for an overfarm, but they weren't going to get to enough moves to take us out. We are super debuffed, but at this point we've thrown like 5 charge moves collectively, so we can just swap out here. Back in comes Whimsicott, we catch the move on this as well. The opponent's just in a shambles, and we have a return on the other thing. Now, I was so afraid here, because they farmed me down, right? And I don't trust this game, folks. Like, I don't trust this game. So I came into Cresselia, because, like, I've got the return loaded, but I just don't trust this game to give me my move. So I'm like, please give me my move. And we do finally get the foul play off. Of course, the return was the best option there, but they were on 2 health, so it doesn't matter. I was just making sure, just in case I didn't have the return. But that's just how this game's gotten for me. I just don't trust this game anymore. I'm expecting not to get moves, because it's happened a few times. And we're going to hop into the next game. It is Bastiodon. Pretty awkward. And I'm expecting Victory Bell and Medicham in the back. If it's Victory and Medicham, I throw after 10 here, which is good timing, by the way, on the free turn move. If it's Victory Bell, I decide to catch here. And just try to draw out the Medi and try to sort of, like, you know, dance around and chip. This is our main answer to this thing, but the opponent's not swapping out. So I'm like, why are you not swapping out, buddy? What do you possibly have in the back that you don't have a better answer to Registeel than Bastiodon? They're shielding up as well. So I'm like, what are you doing, buddy? What's going on here? Let me shield up this Flamethrower, even though I can comfortably live it. because obviously Regiseal's core breaking this whole team. We're going to farm back up to 100 energy, or almost. Did they go for a catch right there? I think they might have done. No, they just let it go. And in comes Sableye. Didn't really make any sense. You can come into Sableye in this match. We will live a foul play very comfortably here. But I'm still thinking, like, are they weak to this in the back? I do decide to let it go and come into my own Sableye and store the move. So at this point, I'm going to look to play it too close to CMP. I've got a very high attack, 4, 14, 15, very nice AVs. But I have lost a few CMPs. I think at this stage I can just shield this up and take it out. And look to see what the opponent has in the back. Because Sableye is still quite useful. It is a Pelipper. We're going to YOLO the return, and you're about to see this just absolutely clap this Pelipper. Such a weird team by the opponent. They can go for this move if they want to, but they're just going to get Psycho Cut down, or Lock On down, and it's just game over at this point, folks. Yeah, Cresselia is going to come in for the Psycho Cut down. I think the opponent will see the writing on the wall here, because this thing's just so bulky. It has the grass knot coverage, and yeah, it's just good games. Is it even... Sorry, it's the Sableye in the back. I'm a pussy, bro. I thought they were close to the move, so I didn't fire off the Moonblast. But yeah, this is game over anyway. They can foul play me if they want to. Yeah, this is not going to take me out. I don't know why I threw that. I think I actually, while playing, thought it was the Bastiodon still for some reason. Or thought they were just at the move. I should have just committed to the Moonblast. But that's good games. Very well played. And like I said, like Cresselia is just sweeping games super, super well. Especially if you have a shield for it. Now, very, very awkwardly to Dragonair, like, it's just awkward. I might look to go for the foul play on CMP here. I think I actually might let this go and look to try and get a shield off the opponent. I think that's my plan here. I decide to go for the CMP just in case they overfarm. Yeah, so they win CMP, they shield it up, and I'm going to come into Cresselia on this occasion, because my main answer for this is the other thing. In comes Deoxys. This is not an answer for Cresselia. Cresselia straight beats this thing. So I'm thinking, right, maybe should I look to switch, flip switch here, and we're going to get off 2 Moonblasts. The opponent does win CMP. It's not very often you see Deoxys win CMP, but this is one of those situations which really speaks to the bulk of Cresselia. Moonblast coming through. We're just going to chip it down quite a lot. Just while we're watching this, I was thinking at the time, what is a more efficient move, Grass Knot or Moonblast? As it turns out, it is Moonblast, but they're very, very similar. 1.8 versus 1.83 damage per energy. We're so bulky that we're getting to a move, so the opponent's forced to throw a move, which is beautiful here. Body Slam coming through, and we're going to come in with Sir Reginald. We're up a shield here. I think I should let the first one go and maybe shield the second one. Dragonair can beat you in the 2 shield, which is pretty interesting, and I think we're going to look to go for Focus Blast. Normally I'd go for a Zap Cannon, but I'm not messing around here. Just looking to get rid of it. And not that a Zap Cannon wouldn't kill it anyway. I'm thinking that they may be weak to this in the back, so we try to Shadow Claw down. And I think I'm going to respect this move here, because this could be one of the harder hitting moves left. Aqua Tail coming through. Now can I get a lock on down this thing? I'm going to shield it once more probably, just in case it's like something that I'm very good against. That I need the health for, and it's a Toxapex. Can we still do this? They will get off 2 Brians on us here, but I think with a debuff we can definitely do this. Yeah, that comes through. That's absolutely beautiful. We get the debuff, and this Brian's definitely not going to take us out. We should outpace to the next one because we were ahead on energy. We're going to throw this instantly, and yeah, I was going to go for an undercharge and I realized, oh yeah, the Dragonair is super low, don't need to do this. And yeah, good games, very well played. I've definitely been doing some very potato plays recently. Also, like, I've been getting super frustrated with the Great League recently. I'm thinking I might switch back to Ultra League. I might try some Great League again today and switch back to Ultra League. I've just been getting RPS'd a lot, to be honest, like, a lot. It's been very, very brutal for me recently, or just no matter what I run. Like, if you guys, you know, are in my Discord, you'll see me in there complaining, like, oh, I'm running a Sandslash lead and getting Medi, so I swapped to Sableye lead, and suddenly I'm getting Charm Ninetales. That's literally been my whole week, bro. It's just painful. Ever since I hit Expert in the Ultra League, I'm pretty sure, or like I was in around Expert in the Ultra League, and that was like, what, over a week ago? And now I'm down to like under 2500. Like, the drop has been insane. So like, let me know if you guys are enjoying the Great League currently. For me, it's just been RPS hell. In comes Quagsire. This thing's getting RPS hell because he's moves do absolutely nothing to this thing. Look at this Stone Edge coming through. I think they've done 2 Stone Edges and we're only into the yellow here. We're just over farming like crazy. I think they're going to fire off another Mud Bomb. Doesn't even matter. We're farming up to 100 energy, and we're even farming up a little bit above. We've got 105 energy. We're saving some energy for next game, and we'll try to get off a Moonblast on whatever comes back in. I'm trying to actually swap out of here. It's Charizard. I probably should have went for the Moonblast. Can I live a Blast Burn? I think I can. I don't think I should shield this. Yeah, it is Blast Burn. Maybe that's a very good shield then. And in comes Swampert, bro. Double counters to Reggie, and these both do quite well against Sableye. So this is going to be a very close match. We get the Focus Blast through. the opponent decides to call it. I was going to go for the Zap Cannon, but we just have so much energy on Cresselia that maybe the opponent is correct in not doing that. And we're going to go for this Focus Blast. This is either going to get the shield or get the knockout, and we've got a super low health Charizard. So I think we should be in a pretty good position now. Yeah, it's just Charizard with a shield. Yeah, we actually go for the snipe of Cresselia, which is perfect here. Forcing the opponent to shield, and at this stage, like, we can come back in with Reggie and just force them to dump energy. The opponent stopped attacking for a second, or it was a visual glitch. I'm guessing it was a visual glitch, because they end up with quite a lot of energy here. I come in and go for the CMP with Sableye, and at this point, it's just game over anyway. The opponent's now dumped all of their energy, and back in comes Reggie for the Focus Blast. I probably could have went in with Reggie first, to make it a little bit more comfortable, but I was definitely getting to enough moves there no matter what. Good games, very well played, and that is Cresselia in the Great League. I really enjoyed this Pokemon, and I highly recommend trading it with your friends to get a good one. Definitely in this upcoming meta, this Pokemon's going to be super strong, and even in this current meta it already is. So I thought I'd give you guys a heads up, get yourself a Cresselia, it's in raids for the next week. Get yourself one, like get a second account and swap it to yourself, like do something. I think this Pokemon's well worth having. But thank you very much everybody, have a fantastic rest of your day, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll catch you all next time.